Facts. So we're talking about Nigerian music drawing inspiration from Ghana.
Yeah,
sounds. How influential has Ghana been on Nigerian music?
Heavily. You can't even you can quantify it, but it's not just about Nigerian music alone. We are talking about Nigerian pop culture generally, contemporary pop culture, and it has deep roots across history, across different points of history. Like the most recent example is Mr. Easy. When Mr. Easy came from Ghana, had the smash hits, Skin Tight, all these records, you could literally hear everybody going on that double time drum percussion type of thing. Everybody was doing it, but we still found time to step on Ghanaians because we didn't want to give Ghanaians credits. It was also at the time that Nigerians and Ghanaians used to fight a lot on Twitter. I remember that era, Ghanaian Jollof versus Nigerian Jollof, where they would diss each other from morning till night. So a lot of things.
But before the Mr. Easy era,
Yeah.
Can you point out another era where Nigerians drew inspiration?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go by sound first. Ghanaian genres have significantly influenced Nigerian music over the years. Shout out to Ayoshona, by the way. He recently released 2 episodes. He screened 2 episodes of his Afrobeats documentary, and a lot of things became clear. 3 things became clear actually. One of them we knew before that. High life influenced Afrobeats. That's Fela's Afrobeats. 2, Pan Logo, which is a Ghanaian pop genre or folk genre, is basically the origin of the contemporary Afro pop music. 3, the person that named Afrobeats, like called it Afrobeats, according to Tony Allen, is Ghanaian. Right? Those are 3 things that Ayoshonea's documentary showed us. Now let's go back to what high life in, like Nigeria. We had high life. We have high life. High life is basically popular. It's peculiar to the southeast. Like during the Civil War, post Civil War, high life really exploded alongside psychedelic rock. But when Fela came back into the country, it is basically accepted that Fela Afrobeats, which is basically Afropop, borrows its origin from Afrobeats. And the origin of Afrobeat itself is high life. And the origin of the grown name of high life in Africa is Ghana. Either you want to accept it or not, that's your business. And that's facts only. Like, you trace it back further into the 90s. You are talking about in the 70s and 80s, you are talking about the Pan Logo era. Like, the Pan Logo is just the double time. That's the sound. That's the Pan Logo era, Pan Logo sound from Ghana. Now you can say that a lot of Nigerian pop sounds, Nigerian folk sounds also have those roots, but it is widely accepted or regarded that Pan Logo is the origin of that sound. Now let's bring it back to the hip life era. The hip life era was how people merged hip hop and high life together. So the hip life era basically came with them Reggie Rockstone, Obrafour. VIP basically made it more popular in Nigeria, even though Reggie Rockstone was rolling with Two-Face in like 2004. But the moment VIP came into this country. But even before that, we are talking about Tony Tetula. Tony Tetula basically had 2 records with TikTok at the time. I'm in love with 2 women, I don't know which one to take. That's hip life. Then we come into the late 2000s. After Wande Coal jumped on that freestyle produced by Q-Beats, that sound is basically what is significantly influenced what we know as Afropop today. That beat pattern, that melody, chord progression, that melody type is basically what a lot of us know as Afropop today. Then after that, we're talking about the pom pom era, which is Mr. Easy. Mr. Easy's era coincided with not just the pom pom era, it also coincided with a lot of the things that people were calling Tonga at the time, and a lot of people were calling whatever at the time. And even look at it now, the 2 big, some of the big, like even in the UK, for example, which is like another home of Afrobeats, the 2 biggest Afrobeats producers in the UK right now are Ghanaian. Either you want to believe it or not. So these eras, these things have basically led to the formation of contemporary Afropop music. Now you can say that Afropop is not exactly just a Ghanaian thing alone. No problem. You can say that a lot of things have led to this era of Afropop. You can say African genres like Kizomba or Juju, Fuji, Kwaito, Afro House, whatever. All these genres they've been together, they come together to form what we now know as Afropop. You are not wrong. But the fundamental part of that which is like the percussion. Percussion is what makes Afro pop music. It goes back to Man Logo and High Life, and that's facts on it.
So why are Nigerians reluctant? Why do Nigerians struggle to give Ghana credit for their influence?
Ignorance. A lot of Nigerians don't know a lot of the things that we're talking about. Like even the day we release this thing, I can guarantee you that a lot of Nigerians will come in there to argue for no just reason. Even though they have no facts, no figures, they just don't want to be subservient to Ghana in any way. And that's unreasonable a lot because history is telling you something. You never lived it. People who lived it at the time are telling you that this is what it is. And you are coming out to argue things that you don't know. Just shut up and listen sometimes. Ignorance is one of the things. Number two, we are talking about sibling rivalry. Sometimes that can be playful. Usually it is very playful, especially on social media. That's why a lot of Nigerians are going to banter and Ghanaians are going to banter each other on social media. It's not something to be taken serious sometimes. But sometimes it can be taken seriously because that sibling rivalry is one of the things that led to anti-Nigerian sentiments across the continent. Either you want to believe it or not. So we can't, and then another problem with that is the fact that Nigerians just have an ego. We are the biggest, we are the most populous nation in Africa. Culturally, we are the most influential. If your thing lands in Nigeria, it's going to become bigger. So we don't want to give you credit for what you make. Like, one reason, even though Ghanaians are going to feel slighted by the fact that Nigerians don't give them credit for certain things, they will understand why if the moment those things got to Nigeria, they became bigger. It's just a problem that Nigerians sort of try to own those things. Culturally, we are the most impactful. We are the America of Africa. Just like people aspire to go to America, like people will want to blow in America because America is like the grown norm of culture. The moment you blow in America, it's going to trickle down to other parts of the world. That means more money from you. That means more fans for you. That means more acclaim for you. That means more money for you. That's what it is. So with Nigeria and Ghana, that's what we are. A lot of people aspire to blow up in Nigeria. A lot of people aspire to blow up, to feature Nigerian artists. Our artists are the biggest in Africa, numbers wise, whatever. The 2010 generation, they are the biggest in Africa. Simple as it is. Deal with it. So with that in mind, it's a problem when a lot of it's not exactly a problem for a lot of other parts of Africa. For example, Amapiano, for example. Amapiano is a South African genre, but right now it's blowing up in Nigeria. Azonto was a Ghanaian thing, but when it wanted to really blow up, it came to Nigeria, exploded. That's what it is.
Does that mean Ghana is the most influential country, has been the most influential to Nigeria, especially this Afrobeats to the world thing?
I don't even think it's a Nigerian thing alone. I think it's an African thing generally because African pop, the moment you hear what people call Afrobeats, you know it's of African origin. But the problem is this, the Afro pop that we know as it is today has different origins, right? Like I was saying the other time, not just African folk sounds that I mentioned previously. We're also talking about Latin pop music. We're also talking about Caribbean genres of music. So a lot of those things, like when you hear some Afro pop records, you will literally hear these influences across some of those records, right? But at the root of it is Man Logo and High Life. That means fundamentally or significantly, Ghana is the most influential. Ghana has been the most influential in this Afrobeats to the world movement, and that's fact on it.